Welcome in, everybody. Once again, it's Tuesday night, and you know what that means if I don't get sued for that. I'm Steve. This is the Power Hour. C-Red, Rion Skills, Cactus Rack will be joining us in just a little bit. I believe they partied just a little too hard at Night of the Super Wrestlers, and you know us old folks and our hangovers. So Red, Cactus, Rion will be on in a little bit. But tonight we have, like I said, in the promo, Back to the Future. If you don't know who Kid Lat is, should pay attention a little bit more to what's going around in the area. One of the most electric young talents that I have seen come through this business in the last 5 years. And we are lucky enough to have him on the show tonight because we are all about Wrestle League on this show. I'm Steve. This is Kid Lat. Hello, Kid Lat, coming to us from the beach. You little pimp.
Yeah.
And if that is a background, it's a great background because I feel like I'm getting the optical illusion of your hair swaying in the wind, and
that's real.
And the light is hitting you just right, like it's in the afternoon and the sun. So you're messing with my mind, or it could be just the fact that I can't see in these glasses so good. You're on the islands. What island is that?
This is I'm actually in Kona, Hawaii right now, actually.
Kona, Hawaii.
Yeah, right now.
You are getting your Samoan on. So you're down there learning how to do the Samoan drop.
That's right.
Awesome. So when we were talking before we went on, I was thinking, okay, so you're in Hawaii, you're from Hawaii, so great. And you said, nope. So tell me where you're from.
Well, I myself was born here in Chicago.
So you're a hometown talent, but where is your lineage from?
Well, my mom's side of the family is from the Philippines. They're from Iloilo, Philippines. So my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, my uncle, they're all from that side. They're all from the Philippines. And actually, if this isn't too much of a tangent, the name Kid Lat is derived from Tagalog, the Filipino language, and it means as together as a word, it means lightning. So that's how I kind
of. So your name has secret meaning. Now, see, I thought by being Kid Lat, you're talking about your lats. So I thought it was a bodybuilding thing. Now you're still a young man and you're not gigantic yet. So I thought we were going to have these gigantic lats at some point, but it means lightning. So that just shows you what a dipshit I am, and I have no problem saying that on this particular show. So you're Filipino partially, if that's the way it's said. So your mom and that side of the family, and the other side is American from here.
Yeah, mostly Irish, some other Europeans thrown in there.
Oh boy, then you and Sean Mulligan and Meat Hooks O'Bannon are going to have some issues at some point, because anybody with a little Irish in them has to do an Irish car bomb fight with Mulligan. I'm going to work on that. Lad, how long have you been doing this? You are, I don't want you to get in trouble and give too much away, because I think people will be shocked if they knew how old you really were. Do you want to disclose your age on here? We can keep it secret. I can tell everybody right now that you're 22 years old, and they'd believe me because you believe everything on the internet.
Yeah. No, I'm all right sharing how young I am. I'm 17 years old. So.
Oh my God, man, I got underwear older than you. Such a sad time for us old codgers, I tell you. So you're 17. So you just learned how to drive. Yes. Did you learn how to drive or drop kick? What happened first?
I think it was drop kick first, actually. I think my dad really pushed when I was 16 years old, he pushed me to like learn to drive so that I could drive to practice on my own, and that he didn't have to drive me every day. So I think it was drop kick first, actually.
That is, I tell my own son, we're going to get you in a car quickly so I don't have to cart your butt all over God's creation, volleyball and whatnot. So you're 17. How long have you been wrestling? How long have you been training? When did you start?
I started training right when I turned 15, because Wrestle League at that time, they're sort of like youth programs started at 15 years old. So
you started training at the robust age of 15.
Yeah.
How do you? I mean, your body is not even at 15. You're just a walking gland. How did that happen?
It's always something that I wanted to do, and yeah, I was definitely, I still am very small, but yeah, I mean, but the rest of the guys, even at how young I was, they really took me in as one of their own, so I'm very grateful for that.
All the wrestling league guys messaged me and were so excited that you were going to be on this show. Now, I had no idea this was your first podcast. I just thought, Kid Lat's out there doing Kid Lat stuff. Everybody wants to get on board this train. So I'm pleased that the Power Hour is the launch point for the videography portion of the career that's going to be Kid Lat. This is amazing. We're going to be a trivia answer someday. When was the first time Kid Lat was on a podcast? Well, it was this night. It was this night on this time on this Zoom. So thank you very much for making us your first podcast.
Thank you for having me.
When it comes to wrestling, who do you look to for the guidance? Who are your trainers? Because I know we talk to all the wrestlers on the show, and we're always interested to know who's trained them and who they, obviously when you're being trained by someone, you look up to these people. So who are your guys?
You know, even though all the wrestling guys have kind of helped me come into the business,
Don't give them
all of
bigger
them
heads than
really.
they have. Don't give them bigger heads than they have. The last
But
thing I need is Russell to see this and think he had a hand in you.
yeah, I mean, when asked about like who I consider my trainers, I always like to say, so Louis the Wrench Morales, of course, the Wrench,
Louis
Shogun.
just knocked out C Red, so we'll talk about that because knocked his ass out down like a sack of bricks. But that's neither here nor there. So Louis, that's a good person. I mean, he's been doing this a long time. A master tag team technician, great singles wrestler, promoter. If you're going to learn anything, Louis would be a good guy to learn it from.
Yeah, and then
Has he told you about the Caribbean cartel?
I've heard of it for sure. I've
Oh
heard. I
boy.
mean, he still carries around the wrench that he carried around. So
I'll tell you what, one of my first nights on commentary, he came up behind me with the wrench and threatened me on commentary. That was one of my first times of being intimidated by Louis the Wrench Morale. Yeah, it was fantastic.
it's good. It's good.
So you got Louis, and that's if you're gonna learn anything, I mean, he's gonna teach you everything you need to know. Who else?
Of course, Shogun Chris Logan. He's
You mean Shogun Chris Logan, the super
yeah,
wrestler?
the super wrestler. Yeah, that's right.
He is the king of the super wrestlers.
Yeah,
Did you see the prize?
yeah, it's very cool.
I don't know
Very
what it is. I don't know how it got here. I don't know what it does, but somehow Chris Logan is the super wrestler. So what when Louis trains you and when Shogun trains you, what do they go over with you? Are they different in the way they do it? Do they teach the same things?
I think I think with Lewis was the first one to ever train me, and he of course like he really taught me all the moves. He taught me a lot about match structure. Those things mainly came from Lewis, and then things I really derived from Shogun. I think Shogun's psychology is really what he taught me, like making stuff make sense in a match. That's really what I derived from Shogun.
Yeah, Shogun is as cerebral as you get. There's nothing that guy doesn't know or can do. Do you have a Shogun impression you'd like to share with us?
Oh, I
Come on.
I don't think so.
Everybody goes, yeah. Come on, you got to have one in you.
I don't know. I don't wanna do some extra squats or anything for it, you
He'll
know?
make you do it too. That you're right. He's don't you don't mock the Shogun. I'm not mocking him. I'm doing this in tribute. But that's neither here nor there. So Shogun, Louis, if you're going to be trained by anybody, those are magnificent trainers to have. Anybody else important to your beginnings?
Yeah, absolutely. Shogun's brother, Shane Foster, who retired not too long ago to focus on his fighting career. He was absolutely instrumental. I think one of the most important drills, I guess, or lessons that I've been taught from those group was back when I was kind of starting. Uh, Shogun and Shane, they were just kind of it's sort of like it was like a selling lesson where they'd give me some moves, and then I thought, really learn how to take them. And I think that was some of the most important parts of my development, or those moments.
So they beat you up and you take it.
Yeah, that's right.
That is hilarious. It's funny how they call physical assault teaching. Have you been chopped by Shogun?
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Have
Actually,
you
a
been
funny
super
story.
kicked by him?
Yeah, I've taken birthday kicks from Shogun before, which are very painful. You know how someone were to receive birthday punches. I've gotten birthday kicks to the chest.
Well, thank God I don't have to see him on my birthday. I don't need 53 kicks to the no, that's not me. Um, so you've learned the art of psychology, selling and taking punishment from them. You've learned the basics from Louis. Is there anybody else involved that has taught you a great deal about this business?
Definitely Quinn Whittick for sure.
Why does that name keep coming up everywhere I go? I can't throw a quarter and not hit sexy violence Quinn Whittick.
That's right.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Is he the hottest performer in indie wrestling right now? Seems like he's
Absolutely,
everywhere.
absolutely.
How many gold belts does he have? I don't need to know. You don't need to count. He's got a lot of them.
A lot and a lot of major promotions too.
Yeah, I mean, he's champion of Rocket Pro, champion of Wrestling League, champion of Frontline Pro. I mean, you
Yeah,
just check the boxes, and he's just got all the
multi
gold.
multi-state champion.
This is rivaling Jeff Hardy's and Matt Hardy's expedition of gold back in the broken Matt Hardy days.
Yeah.
So he's on an expedition of gold, all right. So what does Quinn? What does Quinn teach you?
He was also pretty early on when Lewis was teaching me the moves and teaching me the basics, but he's also, giving me a lot of his psychology, like Shogun has of sort of making the combat of the fight really come together in a cohesive manner. And Quinn's also responsible for uh pretty much giving me opportunities for a lot of my early bookings too. Quinn was a big part of that.
So you got the foundation for success because all of the people you've talked about have been incredibly successful in this business. So that certainly explains a lot of why you are how you are. So why wrestling? At what point did something happen in your life and you said, I want to get beat up and I want to drop kick people?
Uh, you know, um, I think it's a tale as old as time when people ask about how a lot of people come into the business. But I mean, I've always been a wrestling fan ever since I was young. Always watched it with my dad. So I mean, I've always been interested in starting training, and I think it was around when I came into high school, I really decided to start researching like wrestling schools in the area, and probably the most reputable one I found in my area was Wrestle League. And I kept when I turned 15, I was ready, and I saving enough money for about a month's worth of tuition, and then ever since then.
Does your dad love what, is he excited for you? Does he follow your career very closely?
Absolutely, my dad, both my parents are very very
How proud
happy
are
with
these
what I'm
people?
doing.
I don't think, do they know how good you are?
I don't know. They're very very supportive in all my wrestling endeavors. They're there for every show. They're there whenever I need it. They're there when I need advice. You know, my dad's a wrestling fan, and he's always been in my ear about just this is how I present myself as a wrestler. And I think I have to credit with my mom about being sort of in the business side of my career, being the really savvy one, very wise. Making sure I'm doing right by myself. So.
Hey, man, listen, between your family and your trainers, you have got this on lock. If I wasn't sure you were a legit, real deal, guaranteed lock in this business, now I'm 100% sure because a foundation like that is the springboard to the stratosphere. So I feel like you have got the sky's the limit right there, my friend. What was the moment in wrestling when you were watching on TV with your dad? What was the moment that grabbed you and sucked you in? I know what the moment was for me. Long time ago, galaxy far, far away. I saw Hulk Hogan on MTV, and it was Hogan and Mr. T, the Roddy Piper incident. That sucked me in, and then Saturday night's main event. So I was a Hulkamaniac to start with because that was larger than life, and I had WrestleMania 1. So that's what kind of sucked me in. What got you to it?
Kind of just thinking back on it, the first ever instance of me like coming across wrestling. I might be remembering the exact match wrong if I'm being honest, but I believe it was um it was a match either SmackDown or Raw in like 2011. I'm not sure, but I think it was Sheamus and CM Punk that I remember coming across. And I remember I was on vacation with my family, and we were just browsing through the channels, and it came up, and I was hooked instantly. And then my dad's like, "Yeah, this is wrestling." And yeah,
And
ever
that's
since
what that's
then.
what sucked you in. CM Punk and Sheamus. You got to be careful about talking about CM Punk
I
in
know, I
the
know.
West. Some people are like, yeah, they'll do the whole business like this. Some people will punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Saturday night, I was with a lot of people who'll punch you in the face if you mention that name. A lot of bad blood there, but that's not important. So you get hooked by Sheamus and CM Punk. I mean, those are very entertaining, colorful characters. I mean, why not? Um, what's your favorite Met wrestling moment that you saw on television that you said, man, that is unbelievable? For me, Taker throwing Mick Foley off a steel cage and Jim Ross's commentary as he fell all those feet and crashed through the table. I mean, that's what made me want to be a commentator. I wanted to be Jim Ross. So what was the moment for you? You're like, yes.
Um, when I really think about it, I think it has to be like I think during Daniel Bryan's first sort of Soren going from the Team Hell No to like a purebred underdog babyface kind of. I remember a match. I think it was a match with him and Randy Orton on Raw, and it was either some form of submission match or an I Quit match where
You are
Daniel
talking with
Bryan.
me like this, and you are only 17 years old. The world is waiting for you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Go ahead, Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Yep, totally. That's exactly right. That tracks.
I think there's a part of the match where Daniel Bryan put Randy in a label lock, and he took a kendo stick and he held it against his face like that, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And I got really into Daniel Bryan for a couple of years. And when I was a kid, Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio were my favorites
When you were a
because
kid,
I'm
that's
not
that's so
silly.
that's so cute. That's so cute.
Yeah, they were my favorites because they were smaller guys and they were underdogs, and I really dig that. And when Daniel Bryan has his Yes Movement storyline in 2014, that was really the story that absolutely encapsulated me. I remember being really happy about the outcome of that. So
You know what the lesson learned there is? Doesn't matter how big you are. It's how much you love the business and how much you entertain the fans. You
that's
could
right.
be the tiniest person, but if those people love you, they will follow you to the ends of the earth. And that's happening to you right now. That's why you're here, because people want to hear from Kid Lat. The secret's getting out. People are talking about you. Bullard's talking about you. Wrestle League has been talking about you. So you're starting to develop that momentum, and you're doing very amazing things. The last time I saw you was at Wrestle League's anniversary show. You put your damn career on the line.
Yeah, that's right.
Talk to us a little bit about that match. That for me was the match that I saw you really come into your own. Because I'd seen you fight before, and I thought you were good, but in that match, you were great.
Thank
Take
you.
us.
Yeah. That whole storyline with Mike, as much bad blood as there is there, and I'm not here to say me and Mike have buried the hatchet by any means, but as much as a scumbag that Mike is, I have to at least credit him for being a part of giving me sort of that run with him and Coda. And I think that was really the moment where I got to truly like showcase have enough big moments to showcase what I'm really about, and the kind of match that I'd like to have, especially those matches with Coda. Coda was those are some of my favorite matches to look back on, because I had a lot of fun fighting in those matches, and just the way it played out and the payoff I got with Mike really that was sort of my first really huge moment coming into it, really.
Watching you pistol whip Motivation Mike with one arm tied behind his back was one of the coolest things. I was so happy to be on commentary for that whole thing. It was just very entertaining, and you just beat the snot out of that boy.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing for everybody when Motivation Mike gets beat up, because it's like it's when a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. When Mike gets his ass kicked, everybody's happy. So it's kind of one of those things.
There should be
There's a picture of you standing on a rope with a trash can. That was from that match. Oh, there it is. See, Rion's got the photos. He comes late, but he's got the photos right. He's repping you right now. There's you beating up Motivation Mike with an arm tied behind his back.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, Rion, say hello to Kid Lat.
I'm driving. Can't do it.
When you're done driving, say hello to Kid Lat. And of course, joining us right now is the lovely, the vivacious, the magnificent, iconic Cactus Rack. Hello, Cactus.
Hello, hello. Sorry that I'm late. I got stuck at work late.
I understand, and we appreciate you being here. Say hello to Kid Lat.
Hello, Kid Lat. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, of course. And Andrew says hello. Hot Rod Daddy says hello to his son.
Yeah, you guys, everybody's got great nicknames for you. Andy calls you his son. Quinn calls you the child. We've got whole fathers know his best Mandalorian whole hybrid thing. I think Andy and Quinn are gonna have to fight to see who takes control of you.
Yeah, I don't like Quinn's chances in that.
Well, you might be right. There's a good shot from IPW of the matchup between Quinn and Kid Lat. Sad that I missed that match because I've heard great things about it. Take us through having a match against someone like Quinn Whittick. I mean, Quinn Whittick, champion everywhere. He is at the top of the stratosphere right now. And here you are, 17 years old, in the ring with someone that has trained you. And what take us through that Sunday afternoon in Richton Park.
Yeah, absolutely love that match. Thank you for Rion for being able to facilitate that for us. But
he's the information liaison. He doesn't facilitate anything. He just
yeah. Yeah, but I mean that match, of course, you know, I went into it. I think Quinn sort of brought me on to sort of like introduce me to the IPW universe, and that sort of turned into a match after that. And you know, as much as a lot of the world knows the side of Quinn Whittick, that's super. He's sort of like this vicious force of chaos, kind of taking over the world. He to me, he's been an important mentor of mine, and he brought me into that match as sort of as an introduction. And I think it started off him sort of of course I want like he was when we were going at it, he sort of even though I mean he was going full force, I'd say, but
Yeah.
there was a moment in the match where he kicked me and he was like, oh God, I killed the kid. And he came up to check up on me, and I took that moment to roll him up, to show him that I'm taking this match kind of seriously. And yeah, since then, after that moment, the match totally went off since then. Yeah, and I'm very proud of that match, and I'm very thankful for Quinn for giving me the opportunity.
You are incredibly well spoken for someone your age. I'm taking that away from just the short time we've been together. And that's something that not everybody in wrestling has a hold on. Being able to talk in character, be personable, being able to talk, that's huge. And you seem like you have no problem doing it.
Thank you.
All right. So IPW, did you like it? Did you have a good time there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's a crazy environment over there. But
Let me ask you a
it's
question.
absolutely.
If IPW had a match, had a night, a show at a brewery, and we were able to get you a fake ID, would you wrestle at that IPW show?
If I could, absolutely.
Okay, I'm noting that right now. I'm writing that down because you just never know what's going to happen in the future. So you fight Quinn, and that had to have been a match that you thought, God, I'd really love to do that, and you got a chance to do it. Are there other people that Kid Lat would like to fight?
There's an entire list of that. Every single one of my mentors I'd like to get a chance at. But I mean, past that, there's some dream matches that I can think of. I know in May, I'm not sure what the status of this right now is with the CCW show, but with John booking for that CCW show in May, I was in a scramble with a lot of good talent from out of state and even out of the country, and one of which being Magnum McLaurin from Canada, who is also quite the young man himself. And I think
that will be a dream match for me.
Yeah.
Because McLaren is like a young Shawn Michaels, and you've got this very.
Don't tell Nick Dennison that, or Nick Diamond. Don't
Well,
tell Nick Diamond that.
Can eat a bag of anything. I'm just saying. And look what we have here tonight. We have Rion Skills joining us live in Homewood.
Rion, you should have told me.
I didn't have a chance to make you pancakes yet.
Keep talking.
Here we got Kid Lat. Say hello.
Keep talking.
He said he wanted to thank you, and I said you can't thank Rion for matches because he's just a liaison.
No, I heard him.
Okay.
I was driving and doing photos at the same time, making sure that everybody was good on the thing.
Everybody,
please continue.
Please continue with stuff. And there's a picture of you, I have to believe, hugging Shogun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm familiar with that moment. Tell me when that happened.
That was right after my Wrestle League debut, after I answered EJ Swanson's open challenge.
EJ Swanson, what do you think about that guy?
He
betrayed his mentor. Does that mean you're out to get him?
Me and EJ sort of debuted near the same time. But that's another dream match I'd like to have. And it's happened before, but I love my run back on that for sure. I'd love to take on EJ again and get another opportunity at that. But EJ's super talented, and with the trainers he's had, he's absolutely like a prospect to look out for. So,
well, I can't say I wouldn't want to see that match. I'd love to call that match. Let's take it up a notch. You're a young guy. You're going to be in this business for a while. Who on the televised level would you like to fight at some point, if you could? Just, you're dreaming. Who out there that you respect and you think is good, Kid Lat would like to take a shot at?
I think
you're sitting in the islands, you're chilling by a palm tree. Let's dream.
If we're
could literally be anyone.
It could be Rion if you want it to be.
It could be Godzilla too. It's just a matter of how you want to handle it. It could literally be anyone.
I think the answer that's in the 10-year-old me's heart would be Rey Mysterio. If it ever were to happen, that would be my absolute dream for sure.
I'd like to see that.
That would be a powerhouse match. There'd be so much energy in even in an arena. That would be a good match. Would you take Dominic if you can't get Ray?
Oh, absolutely. Take on that scumbag. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing that good.
I love it.
You hate him already. People are ripping on Dominic, but you hate him, so Dominic's working. Gotta love that. Cactus, welcome. Kid Lat, he's yours. Ask some questions. I had to kill the first half hour, so
I don't know what you've asked yet.
Well, ask again. If you didn't hear it, ask again. We're here for you, Cactus. Oh, wait, whoa.
Thank you, Rion.
There's Ryan Matthews timeout on the field.
Okay, look, Mr. Lat, you've been here for about a half hour, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you remember the questions that were asked to you in the last half hour or so?
Yep. Yep.
Refresh Cactus
Thank you.
what was said.
This is heel
so
Rion.
we can go.
I don't know
This
what
is not heel Rion. This
I don't know
is
what heel
organized
Rion is.
Rion.
You have no idea what he'll is.
I'm watching heel Rion. Okay, go ahead, give catch Cactus up for those of you that are just joining us.
I mean, we basically went over you know, how I started and when I started training.
Mhm.
Started
And,
at 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
And
17. Let that sink in. Still has
Steve was asking me about like you know, who I consider to be my trainers, and I gave him the list of like Lewis, Shogun, Shane Foster, and Quinn. And we were talking also about like moments from when I truly, you know, had that hooked in moment in wrestling. And I was just telling him about how when I was younger and watching guys like Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio on the TV. That's
God, I feel
basically
so
what we ran
old
through.
right now.
Cactus, I asked him all the Steve questions.
Yes.
There's
No, you asked them some of my questions because I usually ask how they got into it.
That's fair. That's fair. But
Like what made you decide you wanted to be a professional wrestler? But who is Kid Lat?
You know, I'm a speedy kid from here in Chicago.
A speedy kid from here in Chicago. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. And do you see that evolving over time?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's still a lot of room to grow there for sure.
Yeah.
Rion's
What?
just happened. What I like about Kid Lat is when I'm sitting there on commentary and Kid is doing his stuff in the ring, there gets to be moments in matches where Kid realizes and watches his surroundings and just starts smiling.
Yes. I've noticed that.
Did you just put Speedy Gonzalez up there? Now he's comparing you to a cartoon rat. That's what he's doing. Heel
That's
Rion.
a mouse.
He's getting ready. Heel Rion getting ready. That's another thing. I guess where's C Red?
You better call him.
I tried to call him.
I messaged him. He hasn't answered.
Focus on the guest you
I'm
had.
focused on the
I did have more questions before you cut me off, Steve, but
yeah.
you love to do that. You love to cut me off. So, what would you call your wrestling style at this time?
I think it's sort of lucha-esque. I think a lot of what I do in there is still very American, like sort of Chicago style that they teach at Wrestle League, but most of my actual move set is very lucha derived. So
okay. And if you didn't have a lucha style set, what would your backup set be?
you know, just with you know, like what I've been taught by Shogun and Quinn and Lewis, just you know, that American really like
Yeah.
Chicago style.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Mr. Lat, what is your name short or what is it? Is it synonym? No, it's not synonym. What is your full name?
What is the is it an abbreviation?
He told us.
Yeah.
That was a question that was already asked.
Yeah.
Why didn't you give that out?
we did discuss it earlier.
Better me than you.
That's fair. Go ahead, Kid. Tell him why Kid Lat is Kid Lat, and tell him it's got nothing to do with your lats.
Yeah. So it's basically my mom's side of the family is from the Philippines, and you know, the word Kid Lat as a word, you know, not like with the space in between, but Kid Lat, like the one word. It means like bolt of lightning in Tagalog, their language. So, and me.
Oh my God, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that. That's great. And I never put it together.
That was going to be my next question, and it's only because I was not sure if if you had other nationalities, because I didn't get a chance to talk to you because, you know, informational liaison stuff. That was my first thing I wanted to ask. And I was like, you can't, like, that's a very specific thing. It sounds like it's just common, but it's not. And that's why I wanted to ask. I'm like, wait, how does that? Okay. My apologies. I'm gonna go back to putting pictures of you on the thing because that's what I
There's
see.
a picture of you outside in all your glory. Take us through that moment.
That was Lucha Libre in the park when Wrestle League hosted it this past summer, and that was from the King of Unity Park Battle Royal, which I ended up winning. So yeah, technically,
Did you
I
know
still...
that show won Best Wrestling Event of the Year in the Reader?
That's
And I
awesome.
didn't know until my brother, who's in Colorado now, sent me a link to the article. And I was like, Andrew, did you like no? Apparently nobody knew that it won this thing. So that's
cool.
the thing you know now.
That means you're award winning, Lat.
Yeah.
Lat is an award winning performer.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about where you're working and where people can see you. Now, everybody knows Wrestle League. And if I'm not mistaken, Wrestle League has a Cinco de Mayo situation coming up pretty soon. Let's talk about that. Tell us a little bit about what you know.
So we will be hosting a Cinco de Mayo event at this bar called Red Line VR. You know, me getting into a bar, I think they have to sort out the logistics of that on its own. But
it's coming to IPW.
if everything goes well, I will be taking on a Crizzo. So yeah, that'll be fun. Red Line VR is sort of near where we train too, so it's not too far away.
So talk to me about that opponent, because the last time I saw Crizzo, however you pronounce it, Aaron Stone was shredding his chest. Tell me about how you plan to fight this man who just went through hell and back and took all the punishment, and now you're going to have to fight him.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be very high octane. You know, how I know Crizzo from just training with him all these years. He's very, very high energy, very, no give. I think there's going to be a lot of cool moves being done, to say the least, which I think is very, very fitting for a Cinco de Mayo sort of lucha style event. So
yeah,
it's going to really come down to that, really.
That is really cool. So you're really into the lucha styling. You can see, that reflected in your work. Tell us how you came to that style.
So, I just as a kid, my favorite was Rey Mysterio, but how I really started getting into lucha training. I train in twice a week at Atomico's lucha school at Berwyn. And I kind of came into that through John Bullard. Actually, John held the seminar with the Skida, the technical luchador legend over there, and I went to that seminar. I had a very good time. I came into contact with Skida and Atomico, who was also at the seminar, and they were sort of talking to me about sort of exploring that area of the business, that style. And ever since then, John hooked me up with Atomico, and we talked about the logistics, and I started training over there in Berwyn. And since then, I have to thank Atomico and Skida really for getting me into lucha. So
yeah, John was telling me how fond of you Skida was. John Bullard is, his sphere of influence is infinite, it would seem. There's a picture.
Let's not take it away from Kid Lat. Kid Lat has some of the best energy I've ever been around. That was all Kid Lat. John Bullard is an amazing man, but
it's the networking I was speaking of.
Yeah,
it was the networking.
Fair enough. But I was, I have to
I'm not
say
saying
that
John Bullard is responsible for Kid Lat. I'm just saying to get him in the right place. That's what John does.
Yeah, he got him in the right place, but the drive and the energy and just such a good kid overall.
Thank you.
Some might say you are the child. And now he puts up John Bullard. I wanted to talk about Crizzo's chest.
Oh, no problem.
Let's go back to Crizzo's chest for a minute. Let's go back to that roadmap. Do you think you can do to Crizzo what happened to Crizzo?
You know, I don't think I quite have the striking power of Aaron Stone, but
That dude hits hard. I'm not gonna lie, and he was taking it easy. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to kill me. Yeah, look at that. Look at that chest. That's just not right.
Man.
That's illegal in some states. That's like Singapore caning, is what that is.
And he
Crizzo's such a tough guy.
So now you got to figure out a way, because he took that and he didn't back down, and now you got to figure out a way to put that away.
Yeah, Crizzo. I remember one time during Shogun's training, we were doing sort of like a last man standing planking contest, and I remember being still in it with like Crizzo, and I look over at Crizzo and he's still at it, and he's like almost steaming at how long he's been going. Like I could see like the steam rise from his body of like how hard he was going. And since then, I've always known that Crizzo's really, no quit in him at all.
Who won?
You know, I know. I mean, I'm a pretty good plank artist, I have to say, and I came home with the victory there. But
Very nice, very nice. I personally hate planking. It was the bane of my former personal trainer's existence. Every time he asked me to do a plank, I threw a temper tantrum. So kudos to you.
I'm trying to figure out if you're calling a timeout. I mean, you got Ryan Matthews' face up there. Are you leaving? All right. Moving on. Your next featured bout is Frontline Pro. So talk to us about that show.
Yeah, Frontline Pro this weekend in Appleton, Wisconsin for Honor Bound. It's a huge card. There's a lot of big names on that card with Billy Gunn, Jacob Fatu, Vampiro is on there. Brian Pillman Jr. It's a big card, a lot of big names. But I'm just gonna be in the battle royal, the Magistrate Battle Royal, and the winner of that.
Getting your hand raised in a battle royal. Do you think you're gonna take another battle royal victory? Maybe.
I mean, I'm sure gonna give it my all, but there's a lot of tough guys in there too. So,
do you know who's in the battle royal? Do you know some of your opponents?
I believe, I'm sure there's a lot of other Wrestle League guys that are gonna be making their appearance in the Magistrate Battle Royal, and I'm pretty sure Gavin McCoy will be in that match as well.
Very cool. Do you think that you will get a chance to fight Jacob Fatu? I don't know if you want.
I don't know.
That dude is as vicious and violent as I've ever seen.
Yeah, the Samoan werewolf, right?
Good Lord, that guy hits hard.
Yeah.
Would you? I mean, if they said, "Hey, you know what? This guy can't make it. We need someone to fight Fatu. Lat, can you do it?"
I'd give it my all.
He would throw
the hot rod will be there. He'll rescue you if need.
Thanks.
So speaking of hot rod, what do you think of Duke Laserfist?
I think it's very cool. The laser fist, that like his move, the laser fist, is probably one of the coolest moves I've seen personally.
There you go, Cactus. Tell Andy we're spreading the love here.
I will.
And there's a poster of Honor Bound. That's a pretty impressive little card that's happening there. It's a lot of talent there. And look who's up at the top looking down, the guy that's everywhere, Wittick. Can't throw a quarter, not hit Quinn Wittick somewhere, I'm telling you. So we know that the CCW show has been postponed for some reasons, but at some point it will be happening and you will fight Magnum McLaren.
Yeah.
Take us through what you anticipate that would be, because in my opinion, two of the best young talents I've ever seen will collide in that match. How do you prepare for someone like that?
Well, it's actually it's a funny story. You know, the first time I came in contact with McLaren was at the CCW Wrestle League Dragon Gate, opened the Chicagoland gate. I came. He was in that locker room, and at the time, seeing him, I was saying, he's a young man like myself, but he's like 6'5", like huge, very very intimidating looking guy. But
Looks like
you
Shawn
know,
Michaels is what he looks like.
yeah.
I have to tell you, I don't think he's 6'5". I don't think he's even taller than I am.
Everybody
So
looks.
don't let him
6'5" to
intimidate
me.
you too much. I think he's only about 6 feet. Like, make him smaller in your mind.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
beat
but
him at CCW. So take it from there.
yeah, since then, I kind of, started talking to him somewhat because when I see another younger person in the business, I sort of, I'd like to, because they have a similar experience of like with me as I do, being younger in the business. But it's we certainly have a rivalry, a little bit. We've been in each other's Facebook comments, sort of digging at each other, you know, and John sort of overseen and facilitated this rivalry of ours. But I absolutely can't wait to get a piece of McLaurin for sure.
That'll be a match that we'll remember for a long, long time. All right, so you're a young man. You've got the sky in front of you. You could go as far as you want to go. Where do you want to go? What is the end game for Kid Lat? What do you hope to achieve with what you're doing?
Um, you know, just as far as I could go, as far as the world will take me, really. I'm just gonna give it my all. Being on TV would be amazing, but I'm I think the main thing I'd like to do is, no matter where I go, I wanna prove that everyone who's ever, taken a bit of, pride in me, or sort of like taking a chance at me. I want to prove them right. I want to prove that they made the right decision there. I want to make them all proud. So
What do you got here,
That's
Rian?
the sky.
That's the sky. Rian is so literal in the interpretations here. It's amazing.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call it and say that you're signed within the next 5 years. I see it. So I see it.
Cactus, Red is not here right now.
I know I've messaged him. I'm worried, but
I am a little worried as well. This is very atypical.
are you asking me to do the flowers?
I would like Cactus Rack to substitute for C-Red.
Actually, there's someone better than me that can do the flowers.
Are you saying that Duke Laserfist is here?
I will go get Duke Laserfist. Hold your horses.
Oh boy, Cactus Rack is going to call in Duke Laserfist himself to give Kid Lat the flowers. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I need to tell you, because I think this is a good time to do it. Your energy and the positivity that you exude whenever you're around is not something I see in every locker room I go to. And I watch your enthusiasm in the ring, and I watch you do what you do. And at the age of 17, what you do is positively astonishing. And like I said, I'm excited to have you here tonight. I'm absolutely bewildered that this is the first time you've been on a podcast. And I'm also bewildered at how well you have conducted yourself. And I have to give kudos to your upbringing, because your parents have taught you to be very present in a moment and speak very profoundly. And dude, we have interviewed many people on this show, and you have come here tonight and you have blown away many of them. So I can't wait to see where you go and what you do, because you might be a big deal in Wrestle League right now, but I see you branching out and doing just amazing things. I've watched wrestlers go from here to bigger things And it just seems to me like you're on that trajectory.
He's on his way.
Cactus is updating us on the whereabouts of Andy. Rion, as information liaison, full impression, sir.
Okay.
Don't let me interrupt you combing your beard.
Yeah, because that's the only thing. So I will go with Andy gets sat down, so I don't have to really say too much. So
there's my son on the beach.
He's in Hawaii right now. Can't you tell by the angle of the sun? It's early afternoon there.
Look at that breeze on the tree behind him. It's
you can see it moving his hair. He has to be there.
Yeah. Somehow he got there. He's like 12. I don't know who sent him.
He is not 12. Andy, usually C-Red does the roses, but C-Red is not here. I gave them to Cactus, and Cactus is giving them to you. Tell Kid Lat why he's amazing.
Okay, so I know it wasn't your first match, but I think I was maybe like your second or third match. Is that right?
Yeah.
And it was me and Mark versus you and Quinn in a random parking lot for ARW, I think, for like some union. I don't exactly remember exactly like what it was for, but I remember in like the moment that the whole match started, like you remember it too, because everyone started honking their horns at Mark and I. Like we didn't wrestle for a solid like 5 minutes because everyone was honking at Mark, pissed it off at us. But I was just looking over at you because you were like laughing at us the entire time, smiling. I was like, he's got to be loving this. Like he's in it, like I said, this is like second or third match, and he's just laughing at the fact that I'm getting booed, Mark's getting booed, and he hasn't had to do a single thing for almost 10 minutes of this match, except for like soak it all in and die out in the sun because we were in the middle of a tarmac parking lot. But like I remember how nervous you were and all that stuff, and now you're doing shows without me on them, which freaking great, by the way. That's how it should be. But now it's like you've gotten past a lot of the things that I remember was holding you back from that very first show or that second show, where you had like these mental blocks where you're like, I can't do this, I don't know if I'm ready or not, like that. And now you're fighting dudes who are like 10 years in the business, guys who are like getting looked at by huge names and stuff like that. You're out there wrestling, like I said, in promotions without me, without a Quinn, without a Mark, without the guys who are like the support system, and you're doing it on your own and you're making your own trail. So you're progressing probably a lot faster than you know. Like you're talked about in good ways by like a ton of people backstage. Like anytime I see you, I always grab you. Like, I'm always like, look at my son. Look at this man. You're not really to the internet world, he is not truly my son, but I claim him, and so does Mark, and so does Quinn, and like half of Wrestle League. So he's got like 1 million dads. So if anyone shoots on
that is
Kid
a
Lat,
paternity nightmare.
Yeah, if anyone shoots on Kid Lat, I'm gonna rip your arm off and beat you with it. And I'm fully capable of doing that. Just because I'm a goofy wrestler doesn't mean I don't know how to do it. But
dude, your fist.
But like I said, you have gone a lot further than in such a short amount of time. And I remember even just training with you at the school, like every so and so, and like we were always goofing, being like, "Oh, look at little Sammy Guevara." But now it's like you're something completely different now. I'm
Spanish God, he's Filipino.
I'm breaking Steve right now. I saw him laugh.
Poke me. I must admit that was.
But like you're doing it on your own now, and like everyone at Wrestle League has got your back. And like I said, I'll beat anyone up for you, and I'm sure everyone would say the same. You just got to keep wrestling. I don't know what other great advice I can give you. Like,
it's not advice.
Or
your compliment.
I know I'm not giving him advice. I wasn't finished. it's a good thing that I can't give him any more advice because he's learning on his own.
Focus on me. Focus on Kid
What I
Lat.
was trying to say before Rachel cut me off is because I don't have any kind of advice for you right now, it is a good thing because you are learning things on your own that it's taken a lot of us a long time to learn because you're in a lot better hands than a lot of us were in. So you're being taken care of and by all these people making sure you're doing the right thing and you're doing the right thing. So you're proving to us by going out in the ring and doing these shows by yourself that you get this, like you understand wrestling. You're going to be great. Like you're going to be fine. Like I said, we're always going to be around. You always got us to beat up people for you. I see Rion's changing pictures there.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Pictures aren't for you. They're for people that tend to watch. They're not for you, Andy. They're for other people later on.
I guess there is a small resemblance between Kid Lat and Sammy Guevara. I think but that's okay.
Well, those were my roses. That was the first time I ever had to do this. So,
well, you did a fine job, Andy, aka Duke Laserfist. We appreciate you jumping on to help out C-Red, who is still MIA, but we'll track him down. Rion's better than the CIA.
Well, I mean, hey, Rion's better than the Pinkertons, which I still found out were around today. I thought they were like ancient, non-existent security for him. So let's call Rion that. He's a Pinkerton now.
Thank you.
Kid Lat, you have left an impression on everybody because not one person tonight did anything but say how much they believe in your potential. Any final thoughts from you, sir? It's your show. This is why we're here. We're here for you.
Just thank you to Andy for those kind words, and thank you guys for having me on.
I can't wait to see what you do.
Wait, was this his first podcast?
It's the first one. It's the first one, Andy, and he's been better than 80% of what we've had.
Hey, you've already done better than Russell. You showed up.
Well, that's fair. You were on time. I don't know, Andy. He might be better than you, Andy. He might be better than you.
Hey, I'm always like a random hidden guest. I'm on even when I'm not supposed to be.
That's fair.
You tell him. Who you telling?
Shit.
Sometimes I'm anxious and I don't want to talk, so I make Andrew talk.
That's fair.
Hey, I got a lot to say. If you guys ever want to talk wrestling,
you don't have to tell anybody that you have a lot to say, Andrew.
I wake up.
He bit his tongue and he won't stop talking. And like you can tell that it hurts him to talk. And I'm like, Andrew, stop talking. And he just keeps going. And I'm like, you literally could not stop talking to save your own life. You couldn't stop talking to save my life.
I woke up at 5 this morning just to think about wrestling and think about ideas for my jacket. So I'm glad to talk wrestling with anyone.
This is how you become an accomplice. You need to just.
I'm not yet. Yeah, there's no scenario where I mute Cactus Rack that I get out of the other side of line. There's no scenario.
Were you gonna mute us?
That Rion was telling me to do it. I'm like, there's nowhere on earth that I mute Cactus Rack ever. So I was just
Rion.
saying, I'm not man.
Do we have to have some words? Is there a hidden problem here?
Not for me. Not for me.
I said Rion. I didn't say Steve.
That's heel Rion right here. Kid Lat, you are amazing. And I cannot wait to see where you go from here. I think you are going to be, I think you're already spectacular, but I think you're just going to get better as you go. So thanks for taking time out to be with us tonight. Your first podcast. Did you have fun?
That was a blast. It was awesome.
Are you gonna tell your people that, man, that was great?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just hope your dad enjoys it, because the fact that you want to make your dad happy by being that your dad had anything to do with what you're doing right now means so much to me personally, because I love that whole thing. Yes, Rion? What are you doing?
Something I found.
Oh. Well, let's talk about now. You're not going now. Now you got to tell me about this.
Yeah, that must have been from the Chicagoland gate, where
okay, this
Mike Mike wore those khakis.
Okay. I just going through stuff. I was just like
Motivation Mike is going to be on this show in a few weeks. I'll be surprised if he can hold your jock after the way you performed tonight, my friend.
Thank you.
Do not put a picture of a jockstrap up there. Do not do it. We don't need to see a jockstrap.
I have to look
That was
it
a
up,
figure of speech. All right. Kid Lat, this is the time where we say goodbye, but we don't have to. If you got other things to do, then go kick back, get a coconut drink, and lay on your island.
I think I'm done with homework for the night. So I think I'm good to stay for a little bit.
Kid Lat is going to stick around to talk about super. Oh, there he is. Look at that guy. That was one of the promo photos I chose. That is a confident, cocky ass Kid Lat is what that is. Where was that?
That was at an All-Star Lucha Libre show back a month or two ago, where I took on Aaron Payne and Angel Escalera. I think that was that match.
Do you think you would ever get to a point in lucha wrestling where you'd become a masked wrestler?
I think I wouldn't be opposed to the idea.
That would be pretty cool. That's a big honor to become a masked. I mean that's big. That's a big deal, especially if you love Rey Mysterio. That would be huge.
Yeah. I did. I knew it. I got it. Yes, I'm proud of that one. I'm proud of just being able to figure out what we was about to say and just did it. Yes. God damn it. Sorry.
Heel Rion. Oh man, dude, nice work tonight, Kid Lat. I can't wait to see where you go. I'm so happy for your parents that they support you and love you in this business, because I feel like everybody should love you in this business. So thank you. All right, that's Kid Lat. He's going to stick around for a while as we talk about things. And one of the things we're going to talk about next is a place we all journeyed to. We went through a wormhole and we ended up in a place that I don't think we can all describe. Cactus, did we go through a wormhole? Did we go through time? Where did we go?
I don't know if we went through time, but I feel like we did go to another dimension.
That, of course, was Sunday night, the night of the Super Wrestlers. See, we got this right here, Super Wrestlers. Shogun, who has been instrumental, at least a version from another universe of Shogun. Then there's
this is Logan Chris Shogun. This is not Shogun Chris Logan.
Yeah, it was not Shogun Chris Logan, not your trainer Sunday.
Yes, it's Logan. It's Logan Chris Shogun.
Oh, so it was Logan Chris Shogun. Okay, well
that's what I've decided.
That makes a lot of sense. I bet
Billy, he didn't tell me no.
Cactus.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about Super Wrestlers.
It was nothing I expected and more all at once. So it was tournament style. So there were 4 matches before the first intermission, and we had these 8 competitors whittle themselves down. I have a very visceral reaction to Business Puppy.
Business Puppy. Man, that was something.
An abomination for God and Satan. So I think honestly, like, Shogun's always great. Shogun is always incredible. He was very deserving of being the inaugural Super Wrestler. He won the prize, this bow tie. Like,
we have no idea what the prize was.
We don't know what it is.
No idea.
I hope it has special powers or something, because it just,
we hope to find out in August.
Or maybe you can fly with it. But I think, shockingly enough, my favorite was the USA hole. Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
I'm on it. Hold on.
You're on what?
USA hole. I'm on it.
So you had strong feelings about USA hole, did you?
Yeah, that was.
He actually make reference to January 6th.
Yeah, Shogun did. Shogun was like, I know January 6th, that was a loss, and just the look on US A-hole's face, the appropriate sadness. It was just, as someone who really loves the storytelling in wrestling and people that aren't afraid to laugh at themselves and be characters, I like Night of the Super Wrestlers was a gift. Thank you, Billy Whack. It was amazing. If you weren't there and you were of legal age to be there, you weren't, you're an idiot. You're a stupid fool. And I do want to give a caveat. I would like to apologize to the punk rock prince Jordan Cross.
As you should.
I went too easy on him. I should have asked him to name a song by Extreme Noise Terror. That was me. That was my fault.
I am going to see Mr. Cross next Friday. Oh, he's gone. Kid Lat left. Oh, no, he's back. I thought Kid Lat's like, I ain't hanging out here. You guys are lame. I thought he just quit. He's like,
I gotta go grab the computer charger.
You do what you got to do, kid. You can do what you got to do. Yeah, Jordan Cross. It's another guy. It's another young guy that has a trajectory where he is about to hit the stratosphere. He's been doing ROH stuff. He's been doing AEW dark stuff. He's one of those guys. He's a product of Doug Simmons of Fusion Pro Wrestling. All those people there are just really gifted at what they do. And Jordan is no different, no exception. He's amazing. And you besmirched him.
I did. And I
did not believe his punk rock cred.
I stand firm in my besmirching. I stand firm.
Cactus, I'm going to challenge you because I'm bringing the punk rock prince onto this program.
When?
And I'm going to let you debate him about punk rock. And I want to see how you do toe to toe with the punk rock prince.
Okay.
That's exciting.
How many years do you think I have on him?
I don't know. He's the punk rock prince for a reason.
Do you understand? No. Do you understand like where I come from?
I understand.
The first album I recall laying eyes on when I was 2 years old was Extreme Noise Terror.
Okay, that's credible.
Okay.
Your credit's solid.
No pop punk little hot topic baby is gonna call himself the punk rock prince and come out to Blink 182 and not get besmirched.
Well, I'm not saying I don't love Blink 182.
I'm not saying I don't. I do love Blink 182.
You love Green Day too.
I hate Green Day.
You don't. That's a lie. It's a problem.
No, I hate Green Day.
You own the Kerplunk album.
No, I don't.
You did. Come on, you're lying.
No. Nope.
Do you know how many girls like you I served at the record swap buying Green Day and Operation Ivy?
Girls like you?
Yes. Girls
like you.
I'm just saying.
Extreme Noise Terror. Okay. Well then.
It's turned into a punk rock debate. This took Kid Lat left and this went to hell in a handcart. I did this to myself. Listen, I worked at the record store in the height of the whole ska punk thing. So I got knowledge. Even though I don't listen to it, but I got the knowledge.
You don't listen to it, but you got the knowledge.
I got the knowledge.
Okay.
How many NoFX albums do you have?
None.
How many Rancid albums do you have?
None. I think Tim Johnson is a pedophile and piece of shit.
Yeah, maybe you do know a thing or two. All right.
I mean, everyone knows what he did to Brody Dahl.
How many Dead Kennedys albums do you have?
None.
Have you listened to Jello Biafra's spoken word?
No.
Come on now.
Have you ever read the book Please Kill Me, The Uncensored History of Punk?
G.G. Allen, come to my level.
No, fuck G.G. Allen.
Why? What did he ever do to you?
Fuck him.
We're here now.
I didn't think we were going to. Do you like The Clash at least?
I love The Clash. I love Iggy Pop and the Stooges.
How about Big Audio Dynamite?
No.
What?
My favorite band is Imperial Leather. They are a punk band from Sweden. Most people don't know that. Yeah, I mean, can we get back on topic now?
I'm sorry. Yes, of course we can.
I don't want to keep hurting your feelings.
You're not hurting my feelings. I know.
I mean, you tried it.
I
You
know.
tried it, Steve.
I owned it is what I did.
You did not.
I owned it.
No, you didn't.
There's no plane of existence where you can come at me with music and win.
Bet
No.
fucking money, Steve. Bet fucking money. Do you know who my dad was? Do you know who my dad was?
Not personally.
Yeah. You don't know. You don't know. So shut your mouth. Know your role and shut your mouth, Steve.
Oh, you don't want to go down this road, Cactus.
You don't want to go down this
I don't
road.
need roller skates to beat you here.
You might.
Good. See, this is now become a thing. This is now, you didn't need to make it a thing, but you kind of made it a thing.
You made it a thing.
We are going to have issues here on the Power Hour. Things that at the Fan Access thing, this might blow up.
I was simply continuing the gimmick from Sunday, but you wanted to get your feelings hurt.
My feelings aren't hurt. You have told me nothing that hurts my feelings.
Mhm.
Oh, don't worry. I'll get back. I'll get back on track. Don't worry about it.
All
I got
right.
it.
So,
I got it.
yeah, can you give me some super wrestlers? Do you have to have a bar of soap on the screen?
That's Imperial leather.
I don't care.
Right.
That's a soap byproduct. There's nothing good about that. There's nothing authentic about that.
Right there. Oh,
There you go. Ryor. Cactus, what'd you think about Ryor?
I was very confused by Ryor. Ryor did not look like the man in the video package.
Do we feel like Ryor failed and his home planet is destroyed because Shogun beat him?
Yes.
That's a problem.
well,
He's marooned here. His planet's exploded. He's become Superman. He's an orphan on a planet.
Rion, why?
Closed. Oh, there's your favorite.
Abomination.
That's business puppy mounting Shogun. How'd you feel when that happened?
I
Feel violated?
yeah.
I kind of felt a little violated myself. I'm not going to lie. When he peed on him, I felt kind of violated, but that's neither here nor there.
He peed on everyone he came in contact with.
He sure did. He sure did. What we got here? That's business puppy again. I get these red glasses. I can't see everything.
just take them off.
I can't take them off.
Take them
That's
off.
the gimmick. We don't do that. I'm punk rock.
Just take it off.
Okay,
Stand down.
Steve.
Stand down, Cactus. Stand down.
Okay.
Who was your favorite super wrestler of the crew?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I already told you.
Did I miss it? Who did you say?
Yeah. USA
Business
hole.
puppy was your favorite.
No. I said USA hole.
Oh, USA hole was your. Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay. Why did you like him so much?
Back at it.
Are you a Trumper?
Boom.
Total joke. That was a joke. That was not a good joke. That was a poorly.
Would you like me to
Can
help
you,
you, Steve?
I would like some help right now.
Steve,
Strike that.
you are this close to me leaving the show.
Your Honor, we'll have that.
I don't know. You were shitty to me on Sunday and you're being shitty to me now.
You a drink on Sunday. How was I shitty?
You made some rude ass comment that I must not want to sit next to you because I sat in the row behind you.
Well, I thought it was because I didn't smell good or something. Timeout. That's your second timeout. You only get one more.
Trust me, I'm gonna need more based on how this is going. So, to the people that are listening at this time, our apologies for the randomness. Normally, Steve would have C-Red to kind of slow everything down at a certain point to bring everybody into a pocket, and he's not here at the moment.
But Kid Lat's back.
I mean, I can shut the fuck up if you want me to shut the fuck up.
No, I don't.
So Steve is just being rude and accusatory to everybody.
I had it and now I don't have it. Kid Lat is back. Hey, baby, what's going on? How you doing? I'm just gonna go ahead and step back over here and go back to these photos. We were talking about the super wrestlers, Night of Super Wrestlers. If you have any thoughts on it, feel free. That is USA Hole beating up a dog. So if you want to comment on what you see, I will continue to throw photos up as I get them. But they need help. They're gonna need some help because you may have to be the person to stand between all of the universe stuff. Even though the Super Wrestlers has ended, the multiverse is starting to crack. So you may want to fix what's here. It's on you now. I know you're 17 years old, it's less than 2 decades, but you have a lot of knowledge. So you go on ahead and if you have to, read a book, put a book in front of them and do something if you have to. I'm gonna go back to photos and get that. Because I'm doing it from this, believe it or not. I'm doing all these photos from this.
Cellular device.
Yeah. So.
Kid Lat, welcome back. Cactus and I had a bit of a disagreement while you were gone.
They argued about soap. Not a joke. They argued about soap. I was on here. You go back.
Soap was not the primary argument point.
Usually.
She was insinuating that I don't know punk rock.
Say it on the internet, it's true. Let me go ahead.
All right.
I was insinuating that you don't know more than me about punk rock.
Well, that might be true. Perhaps I was a little over my skis, Cactus. I apologize.
Perhaps.
I said I'm sorry. What more do you want?
No, it's not enough. You were rude.
Mea culpa.
You were rude. You were rude to me several times tonight, and then you had the nerve to ask me if I'm a Trumper.
Well, I just was.
What kind of bullshit?
Because you like
you can call me a bitch. You can call me a cunt.
Oh no, I would never do that.
Want, but don't you ever call me a Trumper.
It was merely insinuating. Okay, we're gonna move right.
Oh, don't worry about it. I got it. I got it.
If you put up Trump, I'm a dead man. Don't do it.
That would be silly.
Don't do it.
Why would I put up
Trump? You would
at this point.
So, anyways, Braun the Lumberjack as the USA hole was the best goddamn character work I've seen in a long time. Does that clear things up for you, Steve?
That's Rick Rude. That is what? Rick Rude was not at the night of the Super Bowl. Cactus is absolutely correct. Some of the best character work I have ever seen was also done by USA Hole. But I feel, and Cactus, apparently you don't agree with me, and that's fine because clearly tonight is not a night we're going to agree. I thought Vlad Bladder, the teenage vampire, was the biggest thing. I want to see that everywhere. He tried to bite Shogun. I mean, there was some vampire sucking trying to happen. And then there was a moment. It was true. It's true. You go,
no,
watch
it's
it.
It's not. It's just you keep.
And then at one point he was down like this and sat up with the. It was amazing. I marked out. It was awesome. You didn't like that, Cactus? You didn't like Vlad Bladder?
I didn't say that I didn't.
Tell me how you feel about Vlad. You like Twilight?
What?
Did you like Twilight?
No.
Did you like the Lost Boys?
Sort of. It was a little before my time.
That's fair.
I'm not really into vampires.
That's fair.
Well, that would explain why you think USA Hole is better than Vlad Bladder. Because you're not into vampires.
No.
You know what would have been cool?
I feel like vampires are overdone.
Do you?
I do.
Do you feel like Twilight is responsible for destroying the lore of the vampire?
I worked at Borders when Twilight came out. Yes, I feel that Twilight is responsible for a lot of terrible things in the world right now.
You worked at Borders?
I did.
Now I understand everything about you.
Do you?
Now I understand.
I don't know if you should go there right now.
And I apologize.
Good.
I do. I do.
You should.
I do.
I'm well read. I'm well versed in music.
Yes, you are.
So is my father. So is my brother.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I was fixing things. It doesn't feel very fixed, does it?
I told you not to go there.
Okay, moving on. There he is.
But
no,
let me be clear that I can like one thing and it doesn't mean that I don't like something else. The only thing I didn't like on that show was Business Puppy.
Well, back at it. Going to find Business Puppy.
What about Madam Shatter? Did you like Madam Shatter?
Hold on.
I feel that Madam Shatter didn't get enough time, considering she was the only
That's Madam
female
Shatter
presenting character all night.
There she is right there. We can feel the noise from Madam Shatter, indeed. Cactus, we haven't agreed much tonight, but I think we can agree on the fact that Night of the Super Wrestlers might have been one of the most entertaining nights of wrestling we've ever seen.
It was.
Can we agree to that?
We can agree to that.
Was that signed at Super Wrestlers? I don't believe that.
Where would I get it?
I don't know where you got it. I
Where
didn't
would
see
I
that.
get
Did
it?
you see that sign?
I think I did. It
I-
was across the ring from us.
I was focused on what was going on in the ring. Anyway, they're going to have another show at the Concord Music Hall. Cactus. It's August 27th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, August 27th. It's a Sunday.
So I'm going to ask this question to everybody here: Kid Lat, Rion Skills, Cactus Rack. Is Billy Whack a certifiable genius?
Yes. Certifiable.
Kid, you think so? Kid's just nodding now. Kid just doesn't want to get in the way. Kid's like, these old people are crazy. What do you think?
Yes, but I've always felt that way about him just as a whole.
As
That
have
I didn't need the super wrestlers to know that he was a genius. But that's a
because
whole
you remember the LWF.
remember a lot of stuff.
Remember a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What do
Only
you
a
think?
genius would wear a suit like Billy Whack wore Sunday night.
Yeah, Andy was jealous of that suit in
Yes,
a
he was.
way. All right, so Night of the Super Wrestlers was a magical night. The Concord Music Hall is a great venue to see wrestling. I didn't know how they were going to do it, but they overachieved in every way. The show had great symmetry. It felt like it went by in an hour, and it was almost 3. Or no, it was almost what? It started at 7, and we ended at what time? 9:45. So it was 2:45, right?
Yeah.
So, but it didn't feel like it.
No.
And everybody was amped. The crowd was electric. The effects were wonderful. So, Billy Whack, congratulations. CM Venom, congratulations. What about the robot ref?
I was disappointed that it wasn't a Roomba.
I don't have a Roomba. I don't know what that means.
And disappointed that it wasn't a Roomba.
What's a Roomba?
The little circular vacuum that
That's
moves itself around.
I'm
Rion, can you pull up a Roomba, please?
I can do that.
You can't see what he's doing, but he's taking his headphones and he's vacuuming my table with his headphones. That's pretty cool. Rion Skills is a thespian to the last straw. And there's Destructo. What'd you think of Destructo, Cactus?
I think Destructo was cheated.
I think you might be right about that. Do you think Jay Beck was disappointed in Destructo?
Perhaps.
What?
You can keep talking.
Okay, keep talking. So Destructo, Madam the whole night was great. We went to a night. What was the name of that bar that we went to beforehand?
Bad Habit.
And that was a lovely experience.
Yes, it was.
And
the
you
food
had
was delicious. The drinks were delicious.
I saw your villainous post on the thing. You're welcome, by the way.
My villainous?
The villainous drink that you drank.
I had the adulteress.
The adulteress. I knew there was a nest.
Thank you for liquoring me up before you were rude.
I was not rude. I feel like I'm being maligned here. That's the Rumba, not a Roomba.
That's on me. My bad.
All right. So Super Wrestlers, we all agree. Fantastic night. We had a great time. I enjoyed the ride there and the ride home. I thought we had a good time. Don't you think so?
I think so. I agree. I think Andrew was asleep for most of it.
I think Andrew was asleep for a good portion of it, but getting to share a car with Kevin and Jay Beck and Cactus and Andy was a great experience. So if you get to do a wrestling road trip, I suggest it because the memories will always be with me. So that was the night of the Super Wrestlers. Billy Whack, on behalf of the world, thank you. We love you. And we can't wait till August 27th. Other things happened over the weekend in wrestling. Cactus, did you have anything other than the Super Wrestlers happening? There's your Rumba, Cactus.
No, it was a very Hazel focused weekend other than Sunday.
How was Hazel doing?
Wonderful.
Hazel's getting ready for her first bout, you were telling me. Talk to me a little bit about that.
June 3rd, she makes her debut as Lunala.
Kid Lat, do you understand what roller derby is?
That's fair.
I'm somewhat slightly familiar with it.
Kid Lat, you should come to roller derby. You should be a fight ref at roller derby. I would just like to see someone of his stature have to deal with the knockouts? Cactus, can we make that happen?
I'm sure we can. Maybe we can
make
start him
Kid
off
Lat a
easy.
fight ref?
Maybe we can start him off easy with the junior league.
Put him with the bros and Russell and have them sort out all the business.
Yes.
That would
Yes. Do you think you're up to dragging people apart? Kid
Sure,
Lat?
sure.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if you know about the knockouts.
With skates flailing and fists flailing.
I'm just going to say this right now. Knockouts don't pull shit.
No.
They're going to knock you the fuck out. But anyway, now, Kid Lat, it would be a great experience for you. You would see things that you've never seen before in your lifetime. I certainly recommend it. Anyways, other things happened this weekend. And knockouts, we've got the Punishers. No, that's not correct. It's the comic book crushers versus the retro rumblers upcoming today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Which means Russian Blue turning to our purview, correct?
Correct.
Are you psyched?
I'm getting there.
Getting there?
I'm getting there.
Right. So the knockouts coming in May. Don't miss that. We had a little thing Friday night in Franklin Park, CSW, the second coming. Did you get a chance to check that out, Cactus, on IWTV Live?
I did not. Like I said, it was a Hazel weekend. We took her to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie, so that's where we
How was
were.
that? I've been wondering about that myself.
It was amazing.
Chris Pine didn't kill it.
No.
He did well.
He did well. It was very good. There were a lot of like jokes you'd probably only get if you're a D&D nerd.
Are you a D&D nerd?
Yeah.
Kid Lat, do you know what D&D means?
Of course.
What does it mean?
Dungeons and Dragons?
Do you play?
I don't, but my dad used to.
Your dad might be the coolest man that I've ever.
It would be hilarious if your dad played with my brother, because my brother is actually quite a bit older than I am, and he's been playing since the early 80s. So it could be.
So while you were watching Dungeons and Dragons, I had my hands full in Franklin Park as CSW presented The Second Coming. And one of the most important things that happened at that show was Sky Blue saying goodbye. Why do you have nerds up there? Dungeons and Dragons nerds. Do you see what he did? Do you see what he did? He just took you literally and brought you candy. Cactus is not impressed. I broke Cactus. It's my fault. I take full responsibility for this. I was rude, and I apologize. Full responsibility.
Let me try to find some stuff now.
All right. So at CSW, Sky Blue said goodbye to independent wrestling as a whole. Because she signed with AEW, she is going to be doing AEW house shows, and she is going to be jet setting around the United States doing that. No longer able to work at CSW on a regular basis. She got in the after her match, which I did not sanction as general manager of CSW. I did not sanction the match, and it was violent, and it went about the way I thought it would go. And Hades will pay for his crimes, and so will Reckless. But that's neither here nor there. She sat in that ring, and she addressed the crowd, and it was one of the most real moments I have seen in this business in a decade. The tears were real, the emotion was real. And the locker room came out and paid her a tribute as she said, "This is not goodbye. This is just see you later." And I was taken by the moment because, and Kid Lat being a young performer, you know, maybe if your career goes very well, at some point you will have to say goodbye to Wrestle League. And how hard would that be for you to say goodbye to those guys if you achieved a level like that?
Except for Mike, it'd be heart-wrenching for sure.
Except for Motivation Mike, nobody likes him.
Makes sense.
So being on commentary while Sky was pouring her soul out was a transcendent experience. It made me emotional. Having worked with her for many years now, it was really a really cool moment. So I enjoyed that. What I didn't enjoy was the fact that TJ Steele is suing me and suing CSW and has gotten me out of a job, perhaps. So that is something we will sort out next month. But what a show we had. So many great matches, so much drama. Big Moon.
Chalance Royale.
Did you get a chance? It was Hazel weekend.
Yeah.
Chalance came out singing and beat people while singing.
Mm-hmm. That's what she does.
It was amazing. She did not win. Sierra retained herself, but had to take 7 stitches in her finger for her efforts. But she is still the CSW Women's Champion. Big mood. Mateo Valentine, Jack Moody beat the Hate Keepers to become the tag team champions of CSW. And it was a situation where they went through refs like paper. At one point, all of our refs were unconscious in the ring, and I had to come out in a referee's outfit to get involved in the finale of that match. But we got the 1, the 2, and the 3, and now Big Mood has got that big moment that Mateo has longed for in his career. He is the first. How did we call? What did we, when he came up to me at the end of the show and he said, "Steve, you're the historian. Am I the first gay Asian champion in CSW history?" And I said, "Mateo, to my knowledge, that is 100% true." And when I thought about it for a minute, I'm like, that is really something, because CSW has been around a minute. And that's a pretty big moment for a man, for a young person.
Agreed.
How do you feel about that?
You want my honest opinion?
I do. That's why I asked you.
Okay, just making sure that you're okay with me saying some real shit right now.
Well, that's what you do. That's what you've been doing lately.
Okay. I'm just
Real
making
shit is
sure.
everywhere for you.
Just
You,
making-
Rion.
Just making sure you need to let that heel shit go.
Oh, no.
So
No,
here's-
like you're letting the main event go.
Here's the thing. When I wrestled in Pro Championship Wrestling back in the day, I can say this with confidence. There weren't a lot of African Americans there. And for a long time, I was just it. So a lot of the titles at the time, I was able to say that I was the first. I think I was the only African American heavyweight champion there, as well as the only one to win the Power Cup twice. And for a while, having that and knowing that, it presented an imaginary weight that's just kind of there to bear. And that's just from one angle years ago. The climate of wrestling has changed drastically. I cannot imagine the pressure that he's in right now. But if it's anything on what I had to deal with back in the day, kudos to you for even putting yourself in a position to present yourself and to be in a position that you, whether you realize it or not, you have to humble yourself while knowing that it is an enormous amount of pressure. I just hope that you're up to the challenge, because it's going to be a lot. I mean, having the accolade is one thing. Presenting it in front of someone is something entirely different, because after a while, that part's going to go away, and they're only going to care about what happens in there. So kudos to you for having an accolade. Stick to it. That's all I can say.
I don't think Mateo's going anywhere. He is truly a spectacular performer, and he's got a great head for this business. I think you would be pleased to know. The You Better Work show at the Brower House in June for POW Entertainment is largely something that he's put together. And, you know, there are going to be many superstars there. Joey Mayberry, the dad bod demigod, will be there. Effie is going to be at Brower House, which is a huge deal. Commentary is going to be Val Capone. She is an entity that I've longed to work with for a long time. I thought I was going to get a chance to work with her. It didn't happen. So that's unfortunate.
Val Capone came from roller derby.
That is something that I didn't think. I'm glad you brought it up, but that is a fact. And she is so talented in what she does. I was really looking forward to doing commentary with her, but not to be, unfortunately, but maybe in the future some way. So Mateo Valentine, Jack Moody, congratulations. Big win, CSW champions. Axel Rico retained his title in a splendid match against Vic Capri. The Hate Keepers ruined everything, as they always do. There was a big pull apart at the end. Right before I had the pleasure of announcing Alexander Hammerstone and Shaz McKenzie being our special guests at the season finale in May. But Vic Capri is ageless, and he and Axel Rico put on a clinic, and it was so good until the Hate Keepers came and screwed it all up. A match that was really impressive that night was Adam Stallion versus Conan Lycan. And if you get a chance to go on the IWTV website and take a look at a match, they put on one of the best matches I've seen in 2023 so far. So CSW lit it up. Our biggest crowd ever in Franklin Park. You couldn't bring another human being into the building. It was monstrous. And the viewing audience for IWTV, our biggest ever. So certainly trending upwards at Chicago style wrestling. Can't wait to see where we go next. And Hades X1X is back. So if TJ Steele does get the general manager job, good luck with trying to keep him under control, because it just won't happen. Saturday night in Southland in Mentita. I'm changing things. I got to keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Get chopped off very easily. Please continue.
Saturday night, we had Wrestle Rock in Mantino. Cactus, you would have really liked this event, because the band that we had this time around was so into the wrestling that they were doing live play-ins like at WrestleMania for some of the talent.
Oh, yeah.
I think you would have thought that was really cool.
I probably would have.
Play a Blink 182 song just for you.
Just for me?
Just for you.
Which one?
I don't remember. It was very early on in the evening.
Okay.
It was very early on. A lot of chaotic things happened. Koa defended his Genesis title in spectacular fashion. The Titans of Destruction retained their titles. Hunter Payne killed a guy named Betty Vargas from Boston. I'd never met Betty before, and I probably will never meet Betty again because I think he's dead. Renee Van Peebles, RVP as they call her there, defended against Kayo Kendra and Natasha Crane, of course. And despite Natasha's paramount efforts, Renee Van Peebles got the victory. The match between Koa and Just Amazing is right up there with that Conan Lycan Adam Stallion match in entertainment value. So wherever I went over the weekend, I saw great wrestling, and it's a total blessing to be able to see this kind of stuff in this day and age happening all around me. So congratulations to all the promotions that had fine weekends. It was great. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at anything.
Calling a timeout? Did I bore everybody to tears?
Oh no, I just have a question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Lat.
Still on the island, by the way.
I actually have a couple of questions for you, if it's okay, because I know you've been sitting there just feeling the breeze. So, have you heard of an organization called Rocket Pro Wrestling, also known as RPW?
Of course.
All right. Do you know there is a show coming up on May 6th?
Do not start.
Yeah.
All right.
Do
you know about this show?
You know, Rion Skills has got a huge moment in that. You know that.
Wait. Oh, I could do it this way. Check it out. I'm going to pause this real quick because I think this is going to be hilarious. So, to the LIM, this is me giving you a gift. Okay. So I'm going to pause for a second so you can record what I'm going to say.
Don't record this.
And then
don't do it. You spilled my drink, Pat.
So here's me pausing.
Don't pause.
Okay. I'm going to beat Maximus Orion simply because he is not focused on what he needs to do. I can say that because I have lost focus in thinking that I was going to win. I don't have to win. I just need to end the fight, especially in the way that this is designed when it comes to the last man standing scenario. And the reason I'm able to say this is because in the contract that was signed, I have to sign over my career if I lose. So it's going to be title versus career. It was something that I decided to say, you know what? This is a BS contract, but in order for me to prove my point, this is where I have to go. This is me talking in riddles, but not really. I'm just putting it all out there so you can go ahead and say whatever needs to be said, because I can continuously ramble on just because I can just do that. And I'm going to continue to ramble on until I think of something to say. Oh yeah, that's right. Mr. Orion streams a lot.
He does.
If that makes any sense to anyone. And we'll continue on with then. And I'm going to pause right. Okay, so Mr. Lat, so this show, I have a match.
He does.
Already talked about it. Do you know who else has a match on this show?
Steve?
Who got a match? Who got a match?
Steve?
You got Steve? Oh, so you got a match. Who we teaming up with?
Shelly.
Who was it? Yeah, who gonna wrestle? Who's he gonna wrestle? Who's he gonna wrestle? Don't you answer.
Joey Roth.
Okay, and who else? Who we gonna wrestle? It's Joey Roth.
I don't know.
It's Roxy Hart. It's Roxy Hart. I am so excited about this match. You have no idea. I have thought of so many things to say about this match. Look, did you know that Roxy Hart and Joey Roth are going to team up against the VHS? Did you know that? The voice, heart, and soul of Rocket Pro? Did you know that? You have no idea. I am so happy about this. I'm going to the VHS. It writes itself. It writes itself. You look, sir. I know that you are 17 years old. I'm correct, 17. Okay, yes. All right. Imagine having that bottled up and you put it into one match, okay? I guarantee it won't be nearly as awesome as this match that you're going to see with this man, main event Steve. There's no way that you are going to tell me they went to another dimension last week with the super wrestlers. And I guarantee you, they are not nearly as good as what's about to happen on this man's match against this. Oh, you have no. I'm sorry. I have to calm down at certain points because you can't grasp that you don't. I have been at Rocket Pro for years. I have taken multiple ass whoopings in that company. But one thing I can say I haven't done is main evented at Rocket Pro. But this man is going to go on to one of the greatest matches of his goddamn life. This man has put on matches in multiple main event matches, sir. Multiple main event matches against former champ. He went up against Aaron Stone, sir. Aaron Stone, and whooped his ass. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it on there. He whooped my ass. His ass. I watched it. He whooped the shit out of Aaron Stone. He whooped the shit out of him. And then he had a drink. He had a drink afterwards, sir. Look.
Hearsay.
The excitement. Look, I'm shaking, sir.
No, we're having a slight earthquake here in Flossmoor.
We have less than 2 weeks. Wait till next week. You think I'm excited now? I have theme songs written up. I have so much. You have no idea how excited that I have to be for this. That you don't even know. You don't even know. I'm going to pull it back so we could talk about other stuff. Miss Cactus, how was your day?
It's long. Had a very long day. What's up?
Was it as long as this man's resume going in to Kicks on 66?
No.
Matt?
No.
No. I could do this literally all fucking day, sir. I could do this all day. I'm not going to, but I could. No one gets to see this part of Rion because they don't even think this man exists. You have no idea. It's the tip of the iceberg, sir. It's the tip of the iceberg. Wait till that week. I'm gonna have so many people following you. It's that main event, Steve. It's that motherfucking main event. You don't even know, sir. You don't even know. You have no idea the powder keg that's coming on this day. You have no clue. You think Billy Whack had pressure? Oh, you don't even know. Steve. And you worried about what the fuck I'm gonna do in this accident? This is gonna be easy work for me. Because all I have to do is end the fight. I don't even have to win. I just have to end the fight. You, on the other hand, have all of Rocket Bro on your back. All of them.
No pressure.
You have all of Rocket Bro on your back.
This is not
all of them.
Kid Lat. This is propaganda.
I like this propaganda.
It's gonna be a fine.
Is it propaganda?
Kicks on 66 is gonna
because the last time I checked, when it came to Kicks on 66, there were 5 gentlemen that went against the idols and they lost, sir.
Well, I'm not going against. I'm going against 2 of.
You only have to go against 2.
Yes.
5 of the best of Rocket Pro couldn't take out the idols. You get to go against the top head person in that group.
Has Rion made you want to see Kicks on 66, Kid Lat? Because I don't think he has.
Absolutely.
Liar. But you're adorable, but lying at this point. Because it's fine. Okay, so Cactus.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Okay.
What are your final thoughts?
About what?
Everything.
My final thoughts are that Kid Lat is going to be signed within 5 years. Got a great future ahead of him. And I hope you are at Kicks on Route 66 because the Power Hour will hopefully still be together after tonight, and we will be there.
We'll be fine.
At the fan access.
We have to have a debate about punk rock at fan access.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry that I missed Shalance. I love her very much, and I am still going to write her an opera.
And she said hi to you.
She did?
Did.
Okay. And
awesome, actually.
It was.
Yeah, Jordan Cross, name a song by Extreme Noise Terror. Let's go.
We're gonna get Google on here. Cactus versus Cross.
And since some people don't understand nuance, that was a work. It was a work. I wasn't shooting on you. It was a work. I listen to Blink 182 all the time, but I do fucking hate Green Day. Green Day is not a good band.
She was shooting on me. That's why.
I wasn't shooting on you. I was shooting on Jordan Cross.
She was real with me. She was shooting.
You were rude. You were rude to me. You owe me an apology, Steve.
I said sorry.
Like a big time, not on air apology.
You can't see me pointing, but the fan access thing is going to happen the same day as Kicks on 66. A couple hours before the show. The Power Hour will be able to be there in all of their glory. I don't
think Roxy Hart has enough sequins in her closet to come even close to how many sequins are going to be on my dress.
See?
So
that type of stuff.
Rion, any final thoughts?
I think I got them all out.
I think you did.
I can. If you just want me to say stuff, I can.
Say something.
Let me get in here, everybody. To everyone that has listened to this debacle of a show.
Listen, a debacle, Kid Lat was amazing.
I haven't even finished.
Sorry, my fault.
To everyone that has listened to this debacle of a show, our apologies.
I'm not sorry.
I haven't even finished my state because of so much excitement that we have for wrestling in general, that it can't be shown through words and listening. For anyone that has watched this particular thing, apologies on my end because of me being too excited. And for anyone else that keeps hearing the breeze in Kid Lat's screen, that's on him. He just got to deal with it.
I think Kid Lat might be drunk because he's had a lot of fruity drinks since we started this. A lot of umbrellas.
I mean, if you want to go there, that's fine, but that's on him because he's at his house. He could
he's on the island.
I'm pretty sure he. Well, I mean, let's see. You know what? Do it again. Do the thing again. Don't do it. Oh, there it is. There's no house there.
No, there's no house.
And you're right. There's no house.
It's the twilight lighting on the
right.
island.
That's on me.
That's on
my
you.
Apologies. He's clearly on the beach.
He's clearly on.
That is
the sun is at the right position in the day. That is clearly not Photoshop.
That is on me 100%.
100%.
Debacle. I keep fucking up. Let me go on ahead and move this back over this way so you can go.
All right. Kid Lat has been our guest tonight. Kid, thank you for sticking the whole. You are one of the only guests that has ever stayed the entire time while we do our shenanigans, and I hope you at least had a little bit of fun.
I sure did. Thank you for having me on.
Continue to ascend. Continue to be amazing. I can't wait to see what you do next. I can't wait to work with you everywhere. So just keep doing what you're doing, and thank your parents for me because they brought you up right.
Thank you. I will.
That's Kid Lat. That's Cactus. Cactus, any final thoughts?
She
did. She did. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
She did more.
Well, I feel she's angry, so I don't.
I don't know.
Okay.
Debacle.
I would like to say thank you to Kid Lat, Cactus. I'd like to say thank you to C-Red, who is not. I was getting ready to say C-Red not here tonight.
You pointed at me.
I was acquiescing to you. Can you tell us where Red is?
He's fine. He was dealing with
stuff. Now you know, Kid Lat, that adults don't have it together either.
Well, I think he's known me long enough to know that I've got nothing, so that's fine. C-Red, wherever you are right now, we love you, we missed you, and we'll see you.
We love you.
Next week on this show, it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be a little different, and it's going to be a little later, perhaps. I will be doing this Zoom live from Jefferson City, Missouri. So I'm not exactly sure what time it will take place, but it will take place at some point.
You an hour ahead. But
oh, it's not. I'm in Missouri. It's still Central Standard Time. We'll see. Our guest next week, it's been a while since we've had a Tomaselli on the show. So Paulie Tomaselli will be joining us for his third visit to the Power Hour next week to talk about all things Tomaselli. So we will look forward to that. Kid Lat, amazing. Thank you. We will catch you next time. Thanks to Cactus, to Rion, to Red, wherever you are. Thanks to all the promotions that did wonderful work this week. I'm Steve, and we will see you next Tuesday night from Missouri, some of us, on the Power Hour. Good night, everybody.